The series begins with Yun. She has 3 brothers, all of whom are handsome. One day she returns home and is met by her brother's girlfriend, who has been dumped recently. She wants vengeance, and once she gets the chance, she gathers her friends and attacks the poor girl Yun. When she's at home, she asks her brothers one by one who has dumped his girlfriend should come forward. She takes a picture of them in a terrible state because they have just woken up from sleep, and threatens them that she will upload these pictures to social media websites. Here one of the brothers speaks and says that he is the one who left the girl. Then he says this is not the first time he has done it. Yun beats him down. He replies it's not his fault, that those women run like beasts after him. Our hero, Kang, is a handsome man. One day, while he's sketching at a restaurant, a girl with her boyfriend covertly eyes Kang. When her boyfriend goes to the restroom, she discreetly hands her contact number to Kang. Shortly afterward, Kang meets the boyfriend and shows him the tissue with the number. The boyfriend advises Kang to be cautious about such girls, as they tend to hop from one guy to another for fun, showing disloyalty. This boyfriend is Yun's brother, who works at the same school where she is a coach. Despite being admired by many girls, Yun doesn't want him to get close to any of them, fearing she will be blamed if the relationship sours. Then, her boyfriend Jung calls and invites her to dinner. She daydreams about a potential proposal, so she hurriedly chooses a dress, which happens to be Kim Mi's dress. She makes her way to the restaurant, filled with anticipation, hoping to glimpse an engagement ring. To her shock, Jung decides to break up with her. He reasons that he's involved with a beautiful girl from his social and financial circle. This experience leaves Yun feeling bitter towards handsome men. She confides in Kim Mi with tears in her eyes, sharing the whole story. She seeks solace in food, as it's the only thing capable of comforting her in this difficult moment. As for Kang, he is a wealthy athlete. Nevertheless, he suffers from his childhood insecurities, stemming from his past as an overweight child who was frequently bullied by his friends. Whenever he relives those memories, the dark experiences have a detrimental effect on his well-being. In therapy sessions with Dr. Kim, the psychiatrist encourages Kang to confront his past and demonstrate to his former friends how self-sufficient and successful he has become. Through this process, Kang has undergone a significant transformation, evolving into a completely different person. Dr. Kim emphasizes that this is the only path to personal growth and healing. In a restaurant where his friends typically gather, Kang stands out in his elegance and stunning attire. All eyes are on him, except for Yun, who is occupied in devouring her meal. However, Kang immediately recognizes her. After all, she was the woman he had fallen in love with, and simultaneously, the one who had crushed his spirits and intimidated him. Suddenly, his abdominal pain resurfaces, prompting him to abruptly leave and head home. Despite his attempts to sleep, Yun's face continues to haunt him in the darkness. His anger towards her intensifies, and he becomes consumed by a desire for revenge. And he decides to seek the advice of a doctor. The doctor advises him to confront both Yun and his fears in a way that will allow him to overcome them and find a resolution. Kim Mi contacts Yun and invites her to join her on a date. She instructs Yun to dress in her finest attire because they're meeting Kim Mi's boyfriend, who is bringing a friend along. Who else could that friend be but Kang himself? It turns out Kang planned this meeting to reunite with his childhood love and confront the pain of the past. Kang seizes the moment and asks Yun if they could go to another location to enjoy themselves. A secluded spot with live birds provides them with the perfect setting for reviving their connection. Alone together, Kang believes that Yun must be impressed with him, and he musters the courage to ask her to be his girlfriend. However, her immediate response is no. This rejection stings Kang deeply, and he struggles to even leave the restaurant, his pain affecting his ability to walk. At the doctor's clinic, Kang receives advice to win Yun's heart. He should appear wealthy. Taking this advice to heart, Kang purchases a luxury car to create an impression. However, his friend informs him that he spotted Yun with another man, which deeply upsets Kang. He then witnesses Yun with yet another man, who he is unaware is her brother. This series of misunderstandings only adds to his emotional exhaustion. Kang comes from a wealthy family, and he is even a potential candidate for the position of principal at the school where Yun works as a coach. When he introduces himself during a speech, she jokingly threatens to slice his neck in a childlike manner. Kang confides in the doctor that he feels the need to find a way to tame the spirited side within Yun. However, he acknowledges that the first step is to become accustomed to her presence. In an attempt to achieve this, Kang pretends to be taking selfies, but he's secretly taking pictures of Yun. His initial happiness is short-lived as he realizes that Yun has figured out what he was doing. Kim Mi stresses the importance of Yun paying serious attention to the situation, particularly because Kang is not only the school principal, but also the son of the owner. This is crucial if she wishes to secure her job. And as he passes in front of her, Yun waves at him. Even as he gets into his car, she continues waving at him. Kang begins to believe that her unusual behavior is a reaction to the expensive car he recently acquired, and he starts to feel that his plan has finally succeeded. During a staff meeting, they gather to eat and are surprised to find that the meal consists of only vegetables, rather than the expected meat and barbecues. Principal Kang seizes the moment to ask Yun a challenging question. What would she do if she had a fat and unattractive student? He's hinting at her past behavior. In response, Yun claims she was only speaking the truth and merely describing him. This sparks a heated argument between them. To defuse the situation, Kim Mi pretends to pour alcohol for Kang, but deliberately spills it on his white shirt to put an end to the quarrel. Later, she takes her friend aside and advises her to apologize to Kang to prevent possible expulsion from the school. Yun apologizes, but Kang doesn't accept her apology, using the excuse that she hasn't changed her mindset. What a horrible woman, he thinks in his car. But for her, she gets the highest score today. At the doctor's clinic, Kang says that whenever he approaches her, he feels his heartbeat rising. The doctor diagnosed this disease, saying he loves her. However, he doesn't believe it. He seeks another doctor's consultation. He's absent from school, and Yun calls him under the pretext of needing his signature for the school racing team's budget. However, he quickly realizes that she's using this as an excuse to contact him because she has feelings for him. Kang responds by saying he'll be spending the day resting at home and invites her to visit him there. To his surprise, she agrees to the idea. In the middle of the night, Yun stands hesitantly in front of his door, but there's no turning back now. Some humorous moments ensue when she is with him. Kang attempts to act like a serious manager, sitting cross-legged and flipping through the pages of the budget. However, when she leaves for the bathroom, it feels as though a heavy weight has been lifted from his chest. He's genuinely frightened of her and the situation. But the road to the bathroom is a tedious task for Yun. She has lost her way through the corridors of the villa. And out of nowhere, Kang bumps into her. There's an agreeable moment between them but dissipates when he regains consciousness. He holds her up on his shoulder and takes her outside where Kim Mi is waiting. He asks her to take her away from him. Kang's hallucinations seem real as the Yun curse is following him at every corner of his spacious villa. He wants to live in peace, signs off the team budget, and sends her clothes off to her. What have we gained so far? A smile of victory on her face. She is heartbroken when she sees Kang on a romantic date with a beautiful and graceful girl, and she can't help but compare her eating habits to those of the girl. The sight is like a painful blow to her self-esteem. In the evening, Yun goes to Kang's house. At first, Kang thinks that she's a figment of his imagination, a hologram. But as reality sinks in, he realizes she's genuinely standing before him. She offers the olive branch gesture of peace, signaling the end of their fights. They take a short walk in front of his house, reminiscing about their childhood memories together. The next day, Kang visits the doctor, who advises him to confront his fears and face them, and it's his way to overcome his inner complexities. In an attempt to make amends, he buys a bouquet of roses for Yan. However, when he sees her, he impulsively tosses the roses through a nearby window, indicating his internal insecurities and lack of confidence. During one of Kang's visits to his doctor, they engage in casual conversation and share a hug. However, by sheer coincidence, Yan witnesses this interaction and jumps to a misguided conclusion. She thinks Kang is having an affair with a man, assuming he's attracted to men. At school, during her training session, she decides to confront Kang about her realization. Yan advises him that there's no shame in discovering his true self, encouraging him to pursue what makes him happy in life. She points out that if he is indeed attracted to men, he should embrace it and continue the journey to self-discovery with determination and resilience until he reaches the finish line in the race of life. She uses figurative language, but he calls her when she is at the finish line. He says that he has found his finish line and that he will run until he reaches the line, meaning her. At night, Kang calls Yan to meet at a particular location. To her surprise, she finds a specialized sports apparel shop open just for her team's clothing. Kang then asks her not to leave him and expresses his desire for her to stay by his side. The image of this sweet, delicate girl he had previously seen with him continues to haunt Yan's thoughts, causing her emotional distress. Unable to bear it any longer, she decides to fabricate a story and tells Kang that she is with someone else. Kang becomes enraged and vents his anger on his friend, taking out his frustrations. Yan, on the other hand, believes there's a missing piece of the big picture, how Kang expresses his feelings for her when she sees him with another girl. She wants to uncover the mystery surrounding the recent events in her life, and as a result, she agrees to be Kang's friend. Kang assumes it will be an easy task and leans closer, caressing her cheek, but Yan pushes him back to show him that it won't be this simple. Kang apologizes for his previous outburst and offers to escort Yan home. Upon arriving at her place, he encounters her 3 brothers, and they engage in a confrontation. Living with 3 boyfriends is indeed a mystery for Kang. He struggles to navigate the dynamics of having them around. After some time, he starts to comprehend the true identity of these men in Yan's life and becomes more at ease, realizing that the situation is working to his advantage. The next morning, Kang waits for Yan in front of her house, and she greets him with a hug that stems from their brother-sister relationship. When he hugs her in return, she pushes him away, clarifying that they are in the friend zone. Kang, however, has affectionate feelings for her and continues to watch her with passion from afar at school. During her training, Yan sustains an injury to her knee, prompting a visit to the doctor. Kang, witnessing the doctor examining her knee, becomes jealous and tries to keep him away from her, warning her not to let any man touch her, or else he will take action. In his office, Kang looks at their pictures together, zooming in and out, and reflects on how cute and lovely she is, clearly captivated by her charm. On her side, Yan wants answers. She gets to his friend, and upon her relentless effort to elicit the answer, he tells her that Kang wants vengeance for his childhood traumatic encounters with her bullying. Yan confronts Kang about what she has recently discovered, and Kang in turn questions his friend's actions. His friend explains that he behaved that way because she had been physically harming him and accuses her of being a gold digger. At school, Yan attempts to escape her miserable life and all those relationships with her attractive boyfriends by trying to jump over the fence, but her friend, Kim Mi, prevents her. Kang calls her to his office, where he exerts his authority by declaring that she will now become his chauffeur. He immediately assigns her the task of changing the car's oil and issues a stern warning that if she doesn't comply, he will fire her. To retain her job, Yan agrees. Yeon continues to confide in her doctor, sharing her story. The doctor expresses his desire to confront her stubborn-headed boss, pledging that once she gives him the green light, he will meet him man to man and even resort to violence if necessary until he repents for his actions. The following day, Yeon is with Kim Mi, who informs her that Kang has invited all the employees to a lavish dinner. Her friend advises her to prepare for the dinner, encouraging her to at least come for the food, with the freedom to leave afterward. As they approach the restaurant that night, Kang reminds her not to consume too much alcohol because she is now responsible for driving the car, emphasizing her new role as a chauffeur. Inside the restaurant, Yeon is seated with her doctor friend. Despite Kang's earlier warning, she doesn't heed his advice and proceeds to drink until she becomes wasted. And while leaving the restaurant, she staggers and wrests the key from Kang. The doctor offers to drive Yeon home, but Kang intervenes, leading to a dispute over her. Eventually, Yeon decides to call a cab and heads home. The following day, her friend is perplexed and questions how Yeon ended up taking Kang's car without permission. Yeon explains to her friend that her drunkenness had led to the incident with Kang's car. The next day, Kang arrives in a taxi, provides her with a hangover remedy, and retrieves his car key from her. At school, Kang discovers that his secretary has overburdened Yeon with heavy work. He scolds him, making it clear that nobody should assign work to Yeon except for him. On the other hand, the doctor learns from Yeon's friend that she has a complex about handsome men and doesn't like them. This peculiar revelation prompts the doctor to brainstorm ways to appear less attractive in her eyes. He also discovers her great appetite and contemplates strategies to attract her interest. He gathers his courage to ask her out and even goes the extra mile by buying her an elegant evening dress. While eating dinner, he says that he has had feelings for her since the moment he laid eyes on her. But Yeon is not ready for this talk from him, so she decides to return the dress, thanking him for the sweet gesture and his words too. He replies that he was honest in everything he said. As for Kang, he is home alone, talking to Fido Dato's hairstyle potato little friend. What is his sweetheart doing with another man? The next day, Kang is incensed when he sees Yeon having lunch with the doctor. He confronts her about her job performance and summons her to his office, instructing her to prepare a report on her team's progress. After completing the report, she goes to his office only to find that he's not there. Kang calls her and directs her to come to his house. At his home, Yeon makes a positive comment about Mr. Potato, which irritates Kang even more. She helps herself to snacks from his fridge. Despite his annoyance, Kang prepares a healthy and nourishing meal, which Yeon compliments. The following day at school, Kang informs Yeon that she should return to her own house and that he doesn't require her to drive him anywhere because he has an important appointment. However, she insists on accompanying him, eager to know more about his situation. Kang disappoints her by rejecting her offer and sends her home. On her way home, anyone unfortunate enough to cross her path falls victim to her curses and anger. However, her day takes a different turn when a random guy starts taunting her in the street. Just when things escalate, Kang arrives to her rescue, playing the role of a knight. Back at home, one of her brothers notices that she is extremely distressed. He offers to take care of the one who causes her sadness upon her signal, but she insists that she has the strength and courage to handle the situation by herself. As Yeon sleeps, she has a dream that unveils the root cause of her fierce and angry disposition. In the dream, she experiences the tragic deaths of her parents, shedding light on the deep emotional pain that has shaped her personality and behavior. The next day, Kang notices the change in Yeon's demeanor. She suddenly starts running, then bows over her knees and begins to sob, all while he watches. Kang, eager to express his feelings, chooses an inopportune moment to do so. Frustrated by his words, she slaps him in the face, delivering a blow to his pride. Kang, taken aback by the incident, turns to his doctor for advice. The doctor advises him to maintain the momentum and not retreat. At school, Yun appears distracted most of the time. Her doctor checks her temperature, and Kang intervenes by removing his hand from her forehead at the right moment. However, Yun remains resistant to developing any feelings for him, actively thwarting his attempts to get closer to her. She emails him the teen's reports to avoid facing him in his office. When she goes to her room, Kang is standing there. He says that he will appear to her anywhere and at any time until he knows why she is avoiding him. When he looks around her room and finds an old picture of her when she was little, he tells her she is beautiful in the picture. Perceiving his motive, she keeps him away from her. Yeon confides in her friend, Kim Mi, about the recent event. Kim Mi indicates that she saw this coming, however. She asks her opinion about the doctor as a potential romantic interest rather than her boss. Kang is deeply affected by Yeon's rejection, and his emotions bring him to tears. But later in the evening, Yeon visits him at his home and suggests that they should acknowledge what's between them. However, she requests that he stay away and leave her alone. She returns home and, in a drunken state, calls him, pleading for him to never leave her. The next day, when Yeon sobers up, she discovers that she was the one who initiated the call the previous night, which surprises her. Regardless, Kang is determined not to leave her, no matter the circumstances. Kang gives Yeon the car key, indicating that he wants her to resume her role as his driver. However, she apologizes, explaining that she has a sea trip planned with her students, and she'll be going with the school doctor. Kang accepts her decision, but the next morning, he surprises her with his eagerness to accompany her on the trip. He also assigns a task to the school doctor, ensuring that he won't be joining them. During the sea trip, Yeon has a great time, enjoying the ocean and the company of her students. She plays and relishes her time in the water, despite being warned to be cautious and attentive. On his side, the doctor is raging from anger. He won't give up so easily. He finds them on the beach and joins them. Yeon doesn't know what to do now. She calls her friend, Kim Mi, asking her to come and rescue her from the puzzling situation. Kim Mi arrives during dinner. However, Yeon becomes upset when Kang starts playing footsie with her under the dining table, prompting her to leave and go to the back garden. In the garden, Kang tells her that he knows she loves him, and those words send a surge of electricity through her emotions. Later in their room, her friend inquires about what happened between them. During their talk, Yeon receives a message from Kang, asking her to come down and meet with him. She meets him while wearing a mask, clearly signaling her desire to maintain emotional distance and not engage in any romantic intimacy with him. The doctor asks Kang's family to appoint him as the school principal instead of Kang, and they agree to that because the school needs someone with expertise. The first thing he does is to tell Yeon the happy news. She shows him her well wishes. Her friend says if she continues keeping Kang away from her, he will get bored and probably leave her. And this is the bad news for her since she loves him. Yeon's thoughts spiral around what she just has heard. She goes directly to Kang and surprises him with a passionate kiss. Now he is never going to leave her, but he has another battle to win. The principal's chair against the doctor. He implores his grandmother to grant the position back to him, but she seems firm on her decision. No doubt, the chair is for the doctor. The following day, the news spreads in the school about the doctor taking over the position of the principal. Yeon is heartbroken because she will not be able to see Kang as she used to see him every day. Later on, the doctor confesses to her about his feelings for her, but in return, she says that she loves Kang. No longer able to suppress their attraction to each other, Kang and Yeon's spring flourishes. They go to the amusement park, they have fun, and they go to the cinema to watch a sad movie, to weep and eat popcorn together. And they sit closer and talk. The movie moved him to the point where he still feels the sadness, and as usual, she is eating. How cold is she? He wonders. Yeon expresses her concern that Kang may suffer from the apparent coldness of her feelings. Kang, however, remains steadfast in his determination not to leave her. explaining that her way of expressing love is different from his way of loving her. Yeon reflects on a memory when she asked her parents to visit Kang to apologize for calling him fat and ugly. Tragically, that very night, her parents died in a terrible car accident. Returning to the present, we see that the school doctor continues his efforts to win Yeon's heart. He showers her with chocolates, despite her declaration of love for Kang. His persistent pursuit of her affection remains unchanged. Yeon meets Kang in his house and says that he should take a contemplative look around him. At his villa, his clothes, his family, and his prestigious status as a principal of the school, and compare himself with her social status. The poor orphan whose background is not of such influence. She suggests they should separate before they get attached more. She wants to leave, but he doesn't allow her. He tells her that it's all nonsense. Their love weighs down all the odds. They love each other, and that's enough. He grabs her toward him in a long, warm hug. When his mother comes in, she becomes pleased with what she sees. Finally, her son is in love with a pretty girl. He will say goodbye to bachelor life. Yeon is embarrassed and wants to keep the distance for some reason in her wounded heart. He wants to show her the cold shoulder because at many times he feels like he's not even in her life. It's too much to bear in his chest. He confides his secret to Mr. Potato and keeps disposing of the heaviness in his heart to this little chubby object. Effectively, it is a therapeutic and relaxing thing to do. As for the doctor's attempts, he's not waving the surrendering flag yet. Whenever he feels that she is sad, he brings her bars of chocolate which she craves the most. Nonetheless, it is not what she wants. What she wants is Kang, who also thinks of leaving her. But how? Can you tell me how? When the flames are inexorably burning inside his chest, how can he put off these rooted aches and pains? One day he knocks on her door. She opens the door and finds him in front of her, murmuring how much he misses her. He rides his car. But she stops him and asks him not to leave, but he comes to his pride and drives away. Yeon admits to herself that she's in limbo, neither here nor there. The next day, because she decides to leave him, she meets him and says that she doesn't love him. And he follows her and says that she is a liar, and that no matter what happens, whether time advances or even stops, she will love him forever, and he will not leave her, and she will not leave him either. Kang's situation deteriorates day after day because he cannot see her, and the longing between them becomes intense. But one day he sees her in front of his house. They talk sitting back to back, separated by the gate. And one of those gloomy days, the doctor follows her and tries to comfort her, when suddenly the night, Kang appears. Both battle over her, once again leaving her in a hurricane of emotions. At home, she cries a lot. Her elder brother asks her what's been going on lately with her, as she seems out of sorts. He's worried for her. She has never been in such a mess. One night, Kang is involved in a car accident, and Yeon receives a call notifying her of the accident, triggering distressing memories of death. However, when she sees Kang whole and safe, she inquires about the situation. Kang reassures her that he's okay and nothing happened to him. In this emotional moment, Yeon finally confesses her true feelings to Kang, admitting that she has been lying and that she cannot imagine living without him. To add a twist to the story, Kang reveals that he doesn't want to be with her because he believes she is the cause of her parents' death. She feels lost with his thrashing words. In an emotional roller coaster ride, but one night she sneaks out of her home, leaving her brothers asleep. She heads to Kang's house, and once she's there, she desires all of him, completely. She says she wants to spend time with him. Baffled by her attack, he explicitly says that he doesn't know what he's supposed to do. Taking the lead, she says he just has to follow her steps. And they dance. Kind of mashed potatoes dancing moves. Her elder brother gets up, and once he doesn't see her in bed, he calls Kim Mai, who says that she might be at Kang's house, and they find her there dancing off the night's serene atmosphere. Her brother grabs her from her wrist and calls it a night. At home, they argue about what has happened. Yeon defends herself, saying that he's her boyfriend. And from where he is hearing a mere noise, her brother thinks, seriously, of shoving anything down her throat and sending her back to her room. Life goes on, and Yeon meets the doctor, who does not stop his attempts to make gestures and give her chocolate. She asks him to stop doing that because she does not like him. A fist in his stomach, simultaneously, a composed face, he perseveres. The doctor manages to apologize to her and says that he will try to stop himself from whatever she discerns awkwardly. On her behalf, she says that he is a nice person and hugs him. In the end, Yeon and Kang love paths unite. He visits her brothers to ask her for marriage, and they agree. Kang prepares the white dress she dreamt of all her life for her special day. They get married, live happily with healthy kids of their own.